Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Bill's Sea-Doo Midlife Crisis. Today I am working on one of my tires and rims, part of an ongoing clean the rims and paint them. I've done one already. This is one that was on the vehicle, and if you remember from if you saw the other video, I talked about an accident or an incident where my hub basically imploded because, well, I guess when I first got the trailer 6 months ago, I had no idea about anything when it came to anything, but especially trailer maintenance and hub maintenance. I didn't even really know. All I knew is that you should add grease. That was it. Anyway, make a long story short, my second long trip, actually the first long trip was 4 hours and no problem, thankfully. Second long trip was from home up north here in Ontario to our lake area. And when I arrived at the marina, my hub was basically crumbled basically, and the wheel was rubbing against the fender. And when I took it off, I might post some pictures, but basically the bearings were gone. So they had disintegrated, and the wheel had rubbed on the axle spindle and destroyed it basically. So I learned a whole lot about bearings, hubs, axle spindles, axles, all in a few days early on. And anyway, all that to say, this is the tire that got all the grease. So I knew I had some grease in there because it shot out on the back of the tire. So step one today is going to be to clean off all this grease and get it ready to sand and get it ready to paint front side as well. These are brand new tires that I got because on the trailer when I bought it, it's an 06 Challenger. When I checked the age of the tires, they were from 06. So I had at that point 16-year-old tires, and apparently you're only supposed to go 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 at the most, with tires before they rot. Because the tires looked okay, there was still tons of tread on them, but they were pretty demoed on the inside when I took them off. So, and they were cracked like crazy when you looked more carefully at them. So these are brand new. These are radial Carlisle tires, same size and everything, just radials instead of bias ply. So apparently these are better for highway driving, which is what I do mostly, or what I'm gonna do. Anyway, for the cleanup, I'm gonna use Super Clean and paper towel, and I'm just gonna kind of go to town on it and try to get all this grease off. Like, there's tons, so if I just wipe without any Super Clean, like it's dirty. So, okay, that took quite a while. I'd say about a half an hour of scrubbing, and let me just spin this over for you. There's the back of the wheel. You remember what it looked like before, pretty much covered in grease. That took a lot. There's the pile of used up paper towels. Those are the industrial ones. So I got it pretty clean, and I paid. I had to actually really dig in a little bit around the outside here, without digging in so hard that I'd actually damaged the seal. But all I used, just for your reference, was a little paint scraper, and I just got in here like so with some paper towel. And also in this section right here, because if you remember, or if you watched my other one, little chunks that are in there they kind of ended up getting painted. So I'm trying to get as many of those chunks out as I can. Anyhow, I have to go do some other real work right now for a few minutes. I'm going to let that just kind of dry a little bit. Then I'm going to get the sandpaper going, and we're going to sand and then get ready for masking and then painting. Be back in a second.